I would like to start with this kind of observation. I think for many foreigners like myself, America looks like a country that is mostly oriented towards money. It's only material things here. And then you take a second look, and then you see a totally different country that has volunteers, that has very kind of charitable ideas.
There has been, at least in this country, there has been this continual message that we need more volunteers, more volunteers, more volunteers. In fact, a study was done by the Corporation for National and Community Service about 3 years ago that showed at least 1/3 of all volunteers in any given year don't return because they were mismanaged, they didn't feel like they had an impact. You know, we kind of are continuing to recruit new people into a field that's not ready to receive them. There's a movement in the United States, a pro bono movement, to get companies engaged in skilled volunteering in teams, which is wonderful. They've had an extraordinary number of companies step up to dedicate their volunteers. For example, Deloitte, they have a $50 million commitment to the nonprofit sector for pro bono volunteering over the next 3 years, which is incredible. Finding organizations that can effectively work with teams of Deloitte consultants is a real challenge. And that's what I mean. We've been on this deficit thinking of dollar-based. Oh, if we just get the dollars, we're fine. But here we have an incredible bank of knowledge, experienced consultants who can help us with issues like earned income models, like growth planning, strategic planning, and we can't even find an effective way to work with them because we're not used to thinking about what staffing we need to do that. I think that the old ideas of charity, I think, provided us with a very valuable base. It was the question of how Americans think of themselves as charitable. And, you know, volunteering is important and donating is important. That has served us well. That said, it's time for us to move forward. It's time for us to professionalize the sector. It's time for us to go beyond the old ways of thinking about resourcing and change our staff, be ready to engage expertise, groups of employee volunteers, corporate executives for service on nonprofit boards, and be good partners to companies before we go out asking for handouts anymore.
And you also mentioned an interesting thing that people really get to know each other within the company. Absolutely. I mean, the companies are so huge and the departments are so differentiated. People really don't know who is in the next floor.
That's absolutely true, and especially in as you said, especially in companies that have multiple departments. But we also have seen a lot of companies in this economy where mergers and acquisitions are happening. We've seen a lot of companies use volunteering and cross-sector partnerships to bring people together from separate cultures, company cultures, bring them together to the new culture of the merged organization. And it's a really effective values-based way to do that. It's not just through the way you do accounting. It's through the way you are in the world and through the company's expression of their values. And bringing people together under that umbrella is far more powerful, I think, than the old school way of sending them to conferences or having a staff meeting. You know, I think it's much more powerful to do it in a way that really unifies people based on values.
That's very important thing and interesting thing you're saying, because a lot of companies in Estonia, for example, they're organizing sport competitions and parties and retreats and all that, and they think the employers are satisfied. But you're saying that add this social component and the satisfaction is tenfold.
Yeah, there have been a number of recent studies that have shown that the incoming workforce is willing to work for less money to work for a company that expresses similar values to theirs. So this is not a theoretical thing. This is very concrete. The incoming workforce is saying we expect to see an integrated approach in our workplaces between social engagement and the work that we're doing. Today, the millennial generation is actually seeking to have that integrated. They want all of the parts of their life to be responsible to the environment, responsible to their communities, responsible to themselves. And at the same time, everyone understands businesses have to make money. That's not the point. We've always been willing to drive the bottom line for businesses. This is about how can we do it in new and innovative ways that also don't denigrate our planet, don't denigrate our communities, and don't denigrate ourselves. So it is, again, hybrid value. It's saying we can make better businesses, we can have stronger economies, and we can have healthier communities and a healthier planet at the same time. I do find it fascinating that this is such a values-driven generation that's coming into the workforce. And I think it's incredible. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think that, frankly, the environmental movement has had a lot to do with it. There's kind of undeniable proof at this point that the old ways of doing business are not leaving a future for them and for their children. And so I think this kind of urgency around the need to act has kind of gone beyond environmentalism and led to real dialogue in our society, and especially around younger people, about what we're going to do to change the path we're on.
How this economic crisis is playing out on the NGO sector here in the States?
There are a number of companies who have really struggled, as you know, through this economic period. And in fact, they have maintained their commitment to their corporate philanthropy programs, particularly to their employee engagement programs, because it is consistently indicated on employee surveys to be the most important element of keeping employee morale up.
And finally, in the United States, the NGO sector has long history already. In Estonia, it's 20 years now. It's still developing. What would you say to this young system in Estonia? What should they really think through, and what are the critical important moments in today's world?
I would say be competitive, and I mean that in a private sector sense. Make sure that your services are executed with such excellence that it's undeniable. Make sure that you're not asking for charity, but that you understand the return on investment that you're providing to your country, to the businesses in the country, and to your communities. Be able to articulate that. Be prepared to be a good partner to companies. And that means have someone on your staff who is trained and hired specifically for that reason. Make sure that you are integrating volunteers and the value of volunteers into your budgeting processes, into your management conversations, into every part of your organization. You will free yourself from the constraints of being a financially run organization if you think at the beginning of integrating people's skills, talents, just manpower from the very beginning.